Get the tattoo, man. You gotta get the tattoo.
I can help you do that if you want. And also, where's my $10,000?
Firstly, it was an agreement we made between me and Eddie.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, Eddie versus Thor. As you guys know, most of you probably saw the fight. Most of you probably know the results. There's a couple things to talk about after the fight, though, including the bet, the rematch, etc. So, in case you've been living under a rock for the past 24 hours, Hafthor Bjornsson won the fight with Eddie Hall. He won it by unanimous judging decision. Eddie had a strong first couple rounds. He came out pretty strong, landed some pretty solid punches. But overall, I think he used a lot of his power and his energy in those early rounds and then tired out the rest of the fight. And then Thor seemed to have much more endurance and technically outboxed him, especially in some of those later rounds. I mean, it seemed like Eddie wasn't even throwing. There was rounds where I didn't even see Eddie throw a punch. Maybe he did, and I just didn't see it. But there were rounds where I don't even think Eddie landed. But now that the fight's over, there's a few things to address. The first thing is a rematch. They addressed the rematch at the press conference. It really seemed uncertain whether or not there would be one. I didn't really fully understand at the press conference if there was an actual rematch clause in the contract. But after Thor won in his speech, Thor did say he would be willing to have a rematch with Eddie, and then he asked the crowd if that's what they wanted to see. So it looks like if Eddie does want a rematch, that possibility exists. At least Thor did extend the offer. And Thor also said in his victory speech that Eddie still seemed angry after the fight, so maybe this didn't fully squash their beef. Maybe there still is some animosity there, and this didn't fully resolve things. And I would imagine that Eddie probably does want the rematch, but I don't want to speak for Eddie. But there's also the thing that we saw in the intro here, Larry Wheels and Thor. You guys might remember that Larry Wheels sided with Thor on this whole thing pretty early on, predicting Thor to win. And he ended up betting, well, I think Eddie was actually the one that extended the bet to Larry, a $10,000 bet that Eddie would win. So Eddie made that bet with Larry, and obviously Eddie did not win. So I guess we're going to find out whether or not Eddie keeps up that side of the bargain and gives Larry the $10,000. Because like I said, I think it was actually Eddie's idea to bet Larry that. Now, Thor also mentions in that clip with Larry Wheels that there was a tattoo bet. Now, this one I wasn't as familiar with, but I looked up an article. It looks like they did make a bet prior to the fight that the loser of the fight has to get the winner's name tattooed somewhere on their body. So kind of a similar situation to the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley bet. And Thor expresses in that clip with Larry that he wants to see Eddie hold up that end of the bargain. So I guess we're going to see whether or not Eddie follows through with that. It might be a similar situation with the Woodley thing. Woodley got that tattoo of Jake Paul in order to secure the rematch. Maybe it's going to be a similar thing with Eddie and Thor. And then the third piece of that is there was a bet between Eddie and Thor about donating the money to charity. The loser, I believe it was $200,000, maybe $250,000 to charity, something pretty high like that. Now, the issue with that, I don't know that Thor ever fully accepted that bet, but that was Eddie's idea, so I guess we're going to have to watch and see if Eddie does donate that sum of money to charity. I'm sure Eddie's going to be coming out with a statement here soon. Now, Eddie did put out a statement shortly after the fight. This is what he had to say. He did mention the rematch, which it looks like he is interested in pursuing, but there was no mention of the bet with Larry, the bet with Thor about the tattoos, or the charity aspect. So here's what Eddie had to say after the fight.
Hey guys, obviously you've seen the result. I lost on my behalf. You know what? I can take things like a man. It is what it is. That's boxing. End of the day, I've just fought literally the biggest man on the planet in a boxing match. I'd like to see anybody else get the balls and do that. It's been a hell of a journey. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully there's a rematch and we're going to do business again. And just want to wish everyone out there that you're staying safe, staying positive, keep moving forward in life. And the most important thing is family. Come here, baby. This gorgeous woman is my rock. No matter what happens, I get to go into this gorgeous thing here and the kids as well. So take care, everyone. Big love the beast. See you later.
So, yeah, that's the update on Eddie versus Thor. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about a rematch. Do you want to see it? I thought this fight actually exceeded expectations personally. I was I was entertained. I thought it was a decent fight. I thought it played out pretty much how a lot of people thought it would, but I thought it was impressive that they both went the distance here. And also, what do you think about the bets? Do you think Eddie will follow through with that side of things? I would imagine Thor would basically make him follow through if he wants to do the rematch. Now, next up in the news, a guest posing from Hunter Labrada that he did this weekend at the NPC Utah Cup. Now, we know that Hunter is weighing about 275 pounds right now, so we get kind of the first full glimpse of what a physique is looking like during this offseason preparation for the Olympia 2022. And his biggest rival, Nick Walker, I really think that's what a lot of people are going to have their eyes on for this upcoming Olympia. Obviously, the result last year was Hunter in 4th and Nick Walker in 5th. And I think a lot of people are going to be looking to see improvements from Nick Walker to see if he's going to be able to surpass Hunter Labrada in placings at the Olympia this year. Honestly, I think Hunter looks pretty phenomenal in this update. And it looks like for a guy that weighs 275 pounds, he's maintaining a pretty good level of condition here. He looks like he's still in pretty good shape. Now, Nick Walker also recently on his story, just hours ago actually, he said he's weighing 300 pounds, or he hit 300 pounds. Someone asked him, when will you? We know that a lot of Nick's recent updates, he had been saying he was in the 290s in those updates. So it looks like he has gone beyond that and hit the big 300. He also posted these recent physique updates, which is kind of cool because it almost seems like every time Hunter has a big physique update, Nick Walker has an answer to that in his own physique update. But it could just be mere coincidence because Nick seems to post updates on a very, very regular basis, which I'm sure his fans appreciate because Nick seems to know that's the name of the game. People want updates. The fans want to be tapped in. Now, next up in the news, the rare physique update from Dennis Wolf. Now, this was obviously like a sponsored post or something, but I thought it was a nice glimpse into what the post-professional bodybuilding physique looks like for Dennis Wolf. Now, we've been talking a lot about bodybuilders downsizing, how we should be encouraging it, because obviously, whether it's through circumstance or necessity, bodybuilders, it's a healthier decision at an older age when they do start to downsize. So I just wanted to point out that even though Dennis was one of the biggest mass monsters there was in his era of bodybuilding. He was one of the biggest ever. But obviously after that injury, he wasn't able to train the same way, and he wasn't able to look the same way on stage. So now he's obviously significantly downsized from where he was, and I think we should encourage it. I think Dennis still looks great. He's got a great athletic build still. He's probably not ever going to compete again, which is fine. But I just thought it was worth showcasing because I say this all the time, but when we see these bodybuilders that are in the post-competitive phase of their career, a lot of people want to talk negatively about them looking smaller. And I think we should be highlighting this guy looks great, he looks healthy, and he's still relevant and active in the industry, and that's what Dennis is. And I also think it serves as like an example for the guys that are thinking about retiring or thinking about downsizing or thinking about transitioning into maybe a different role in the industry, to see guys like Dennis doing it and what their physiques look like. So I think Dennis should be highlighted and commended here. I'm glad that he is still around and he's still healthy. He's at these expos. He was at the Arnold. It's cool to still see these guys around and doing well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Giving it a thumbs up always helps out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.